So the next question, the John Glenn Elementary School has sparked a lot of controversy in the community. Residents rejected rezoning the property for assisted living facility, and some are still unhappy with the current plan to build 22 houses on the land. What proposal did you support, and is the plan to build 22 houses the right decision for the city? Councilman Lecznar, would you like to go first?
I did support the elderly center. I think it got a bad rap. It was not, it was portrayed initially as a bad thing, and then it blew up from there. As a result, anything that was put out there that was actually truthful and was telling people actually what it was, and that it was not going to be an emergency room coming in and out all the time, the people's minds were clouded, and they just decided against it, and they came out against it. In regards to the 22 houses, that was a plan that was devised with the builder, or with the owner of the property, and with the residents in that area. They agreed to that. I didn't think the 22 houses was going to fit that in that property, and it's going to be a wait and see what happens and what they look like. Some people don't like a lot of land, and they are just double income people that have no kids, and they're happy with just a house with as little lawn as they possibly can, and those houses will be perfect for them. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be a wait and see. It's not going to bring in the revenue that we had hoped, but we'll have to wait and see.
Great, thank you. Mr. Biasiotta, would you like to go next?
Well, I was not involved in politics in any way, shape, or form when this was an issue, so I really did not have a public stance one way or the other on the assisted living home that was to go there. However, what I can share with you all is, of course, now with the benefit of hindsight a little bit, how I would attack a similar problem, or even specifically how I would have handled that. I think it played itself out the way democracy should. If I had been on council, I would have voted like everyone else to put it on the ballots. The people can speak. But as a councilman, potentially, for Ward 1, I'm real good with listening to people. You know, the 2 ears, 1 mouth. I would have canvassed the neighborhood, paying particular attention to the people that would be most affected, the people that abut the property to be. But I'd also balance that, because it's for the greater good of the whole community, with researching. How much income tax would this have brought to the city? Kind of the problem with everything that we have, the streets, cutting expenses, keeping up service levels, the root is revenue. So I take very close attention to what the revenue projections is and then balance. In this particular case, it did not fit the neighborhood. And being the voice of those citizens, I could not have supported an assisted living as a councilman at that time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Councilman Trafis, any thoughts for you?
Yes. This has been a hot button issue in Seven Hills for a while. And when the property owners, Tom Simich and Bill Mason, approached the city about the assisted living facility, I was a little leery about it. I heard a lot of concerns, especially about how it wasn't properly communicated to the residents in the neighborhood. But I thought it would have generated more revenue than the current proposal. Now, as far as the 22 houses that are going to be built soon, I was one of 2 council members who voted against anything that came in front of us regarding this development. I think there are many unanswered questions, such as if the existing infrastructure, the sewers, can handle a new street. This project is eliminating a parking lot for the kids' baseball diamond, which now is turning out that we'll probably lose the baseball diamond as well. I had concerns about the detention basins, whether they'll be above ground or below ground. And there are too many unanswered things, and I wasn't comfortable supporting this current proposal. And I'm proud that I've spoken up the way I have, and I'll continue to do so.
Great, thank you. Mr. Tripi?
Well, I happen to live on John Glenn Drive, so it's a project that's happening right in my front yard, not in my backyard. So it impacts those that have the backyards more than me. I can acknowledge that. What I'll say is there is no such thing as a perfect plan. So it does not exist. So this is the one thing I can say is my perspective changed dramatically when one evening I was driving by and I saw friends or former friends of my eldest child running around on the roof of John Glenn, and I'm saying to myself, okay, I don't want to have an abandoned building in my front yard. So I think putting things on the ballot before the people is the right thing to do. I think having this, a development there is better than having a building that's vacant. I think there are concerns. There's always going to be concerns, and we have to head those things off at the pass as they come forward and try to be ahead of the issues. I think the big thing that the city has to do now is work on what are we going to do with the park to make that truly a benefit to the community.